All right. Hello, everybody. Getting ready for another circle time. Hello, song. Oh, where's my list? All right. Here we go. Wow, I've got cramps already. I'm just from sitting on my hand. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Remember yesterday I talked about maybe I'll try to do the high C style, sing it higher like at school. I think I'm going to try that today. It might not sound good. We'll see what happens. That's all she's about to see you. Hello to you. There's a lot to you. Hello to so glad to you. Hello to sticky toilet. It's Billy's about to you. Hello to Catherine's down the toilet. So glad to you. Hello to Olive's race car. There's a lot to you. Hello to Lenny Queen. So glad to you. Hello to Emmett. There's a lot to you. Hello to Unicorn Sparkle Road. So glad to you. That was ready. Hello to Henry. Henry, no silly name. So glad to you. Hello to Izumi. That's the car. So glad to you. Hello to Sticky Toilet. That's Isabella. So glad to you. Hello to Sweet Lemon because it's rainbow. That's just so glad to see you. Hello to Butterfly sliding on a rainbow. There's a lot to see you. Hello to Lincoln. So glad to see you. Hello to Stormtrooper. So glad to see you. Hello to Moving Zoomies. So glad to see you. That was Lucas. Hello to oh, Lucy. I don't know if you still want to be Al of the Moose. Wasn't it Al of the Moose? Al of the Moose. Hello to Luna. So glad to see you. Hello to Mateo. Where's the glad to see you? Hello to a mountain lion. That's Mila. So glad to see you. Hello to Silly Cheese. That's Mila. So glad to see you. Hello to Thomas the Train. That's Nora. So glad to see you. Hello to 3,000 lasers in my eye. That's Odysseus. So glad to see you. Hello to Shay. So glad to see you. Hello to Sophia. Sophia, no name. So glad to see you. Hello to Stella. So glad to see you. Hello to Jordan. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Sarah. So glad to see you. Hello to Sophia Sarah. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Roman. So glad to see you. Hello to Jasper. We're so glad to see you. Hello to my star. So glad to see you. Hello to Ethan. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Mia. So glad to see you. Hello to Cash. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Shy. Hello, Shy. So glad to see you. Hello to, where was I? Dion. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Lydia. So glad to see you. Hello to Eleanor. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Violet. So glad to see you. Hello to Lily Julie. So glad to see you. Hello to Elliot. So glad to see you. Hello to Abby. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Dave. So glad to see you. Hello to Ariane. We're so glad to see you. Hello to Lady Lucy. So glad to see you. Hello to Lady Noah. So glad to see you. Hello to Lady Jerry. So glad to see you. Hello to Teacher Judy. We're so glad to see you. Hello. Oh my gosh, I think I'm playing this wrong. My fingers, I can't feel them. I really got to practice my hands, guys. Where am I? Oh, right here. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you. Oh man, I don't know if I should do it high like that, guys. My voice was cracking. Did you hear that? Hello. Maybe I should try it low style again tomorrow. We'll see. All right, now today I'm going to do circle the same, but I did hear some feedback that maybe children would like to do a circle time where instead of just me doing all this stuff, then maybe we just do like talking, like turn everybody back on, you know, with the mics and everything. And then we just talk to each other like more like a meeting. So I think we might try that tomorrow, at least part of the time, and maybe just read one book or something. But so please get ready to do that tomorrow. If you have anything you want to talk about, like tell me your projects at home or whatever, that'd be awesome. But today, I think I'm going to stick with stories again. One more day, we're regular style, and then we'll try to do more like, what would you call it? Like a meeting, I guess you would call it. Okay. Maybe you could call it huddle. I don't know. Call it something. All right. I have 2 stories today, and one's kind of long. So maybe I should start with that one. This one's called The Very Lonely Firefly, written by Eric Carle, super famous author. Oh, I never noticed this. This book was given to us by the son, Ryder Young, of the person that was the director of Roche Island before me, Janet. All right, here we go. Eric Carle, the writer of Very Lonely Firefly, and it starts like this. Ooh, this one's kind of a big book, huh? I'm gonna have to get like push this a little bit that way. See if that works. As the sun set, that means the end of the day, sun going down, a little firefly was born. It stretched its wings and flew off into the darkening sky. So it was born at nighttime, or right before nighttime. There's the sun going down. It was a lonely firefly, and it flashed its light, searching for other fireflies. So this is a true story. I mean, I don't know if they look exactly like this, but there are these kinds of flies or whatever, flying bug. They live mostly in the South, I think, like Florida, places like that. And they actually have a light, not electricity, but like they make a light somehow on the end of their tail, and it sort of goes on and goes off, and goes on and goes off. And so that's what he's doing, trying to look for friends. Then, oh, there's that glare again. Push this down a little bit. Then the firefly saw a light and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a light bulb at a house there, lighting up the night. And so here's the light bulb that the firefly saw. Here's somebody talking to someone else, going like this, so maybe like whispering, and it says, "Hear that noise? Do you hear that noise outside?" I don't know what noise it is. It could be the fly like bzzz, maybe, I don't know. Then the firefly saw a light and flew towards it again, another one. But it was not another firefly, again, not a firefly, it was a candle, flickering in the night. So I think that's that person that was getting talked to. I think that's the same house. I think it's this lady. Now has a candle out here, and she says, "What's going on?" So she looks out the window. And there's a fly right there, but I don't know if she can even see it. Then the firefly saw a light again and flew towards it. But it was not another firefly. It was a flashlight shining in the night. So now this guy, who was the first guy, said, "Did you hear that noise?" Now he looks like he's outside walking around with very fancy pants on. And he has his flashlight, and he says up here, what does he say? "Quiet out there." So it's a loud noise, I guess. And he's saying, Too loud. Be quiet. Then, get that glare. There we go. Then the firefly saw a light and flew towards it another time. And it was not another firefly again. It was not. It was a lantern glowing in the night. So here's a child. I think they're kids. This one's holding a lantern, like old-fashioned sort of lantern. And let's see. This one says, "Who is it?" Question mark. And the girl says, "Hey, stop fighting." Oh, someone's fighting then, I guess, is the noise. The firefly saw several lights, that means more than 3, and flew towards them. But they were not other fireflies. There was the lights of a dog's eyes. Grr, bow wow. So bow wow, not roof roof. So sometimes if you shine a flashlight at night at either a dog or a cat or a bunch of animals, you see a light shining back at you. It's weird. I'm not sure what they call that. And also, the firefly saw a cat, and the cat's like, meow. It says hiss, but this is a hissing sound. So the cat and the dog, I guess, are having a fight. I don't really know exactly. Also, firefly saw an owl with their eyes reflecting in the lights. And what does the owl say? This says hoot, but I would say more like hoo hoo, hoo hoo, something like that. The firefly saw a light again and flew towards it. But again, it was not another firefly. It was a car's headlights flooding the night. So now here's that same family, I'm pretty sure, driving a car, dad, mom, I think, the kids. And the girl says, oh, and the dog and the cat are in the car too. And the girl says, look. And the boy says, wow. And the mom and dad say, it's beautiful. But what is it? I mean, the firefly saw many lights this time, and it flew towards them. Oh, lost the page fell out. Don't want to cover up the picture. But they were not other fireflies. They were fireworks. This must be 4th of July or something. Sparkling and glittering and shimmering in the night. So the family went to go see a fireworks show. And that looks like a real good one because there's all these fireworks going off at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. Which is awesome. All right. Then, when all was quiet, the firefly flew through the night, flashing its light, looking and searching again. So after the fireworks show, then the very lonely firefly saw what it had been looking for all that time. It saw a group of fireflies flashing their lights. And now the firefly wasn't lonely anymore. And this book used to, oh, it's still working. Oh my God. If you look real closely, let me see if I can get it in the picture. Those are lighting up. Do you see those little lights? Ah, let me show you one. See that one? Flicker, flicker, flicker. So it still works. The battery's still working. That's pretty cool. And is that the end? I think it is. Yep. That is the end. Yay for the firefly. Oh, and there's the little battery case in case the lights go out someday. All right, that wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of early still. Wait, am I early? I always get mixed up on the time. We'll see. All right, my next story for today is called Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door. I don't know if you remember, I don't have time to go look for it in my big stack of books, but I read a book like 3 weeks ago now or something called Those Darn Squirrels. I don't know if you remember it. There was a guy, Fook Wire, and he liked birds, I think, but he did not like squirrels because the squirrels will eat the bird food. But anyway, this one is like the next one in the series, I guess. So it's still Those Darn Squirrels, and the Cat Next Door, new character. Oh, there's that guy I was talking about, Fook Wire. See him? All right, here we go. See who wrote this thing. Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door by Adam Rubin, and drawings done by Daniel Salmieri. Oh, interesting. Here's like a beginning page without any words, and there's a big painting, I guess, or photo of a huge cat. Like it looks like a, I don't know, a box or something. But then also down here, I don't know if you noticed, that looks like a bakery, right? It's got a cakes, cupcakes. So I don't even know what that is, but it's got all the pies, right? Cash register. So I think it's a bakery. I mean, let's see. Let's see what happens. Get in the picture here. Old man Fuquire lived on the edge of the forest just outside of town. He was a terrible grump, and in the wintertime he was even grumpier than usual. Whenever it snowed, he would shut his eyes tight and think of summer. He missed the sunshine and the suntan lotion and the weenie roasts. But most of all, he missed the birds who flew south when it got cold. So he's kind of sad sitting there in his whatever living room looking out at the snow. Here we go. When it got too cold outside, the squirrels would drop in through Fuquire's mail slot and visit him at home. What? They come into the house, guys, through the hole in the door. Some people have a hole in their door for mail. And they would warm themselves up by the fire and finish the old man's crossword puzzles for him. When Fuquire woke up, he'd chase them out with a broom. Then he'd shake his old man fist and yell, "No, darn squirrels!" So he still doesn't like them. I don't know. At the end of the last one, I thought he did like him, but now he's back to not liking him, I guess. Old man Fuquire thought spring would never come, but eventually the forest bloomed and the birds returned from their winter vacation. Whirlybirds chomped on tumbleberries. Bongabird snacked on honey snaps, and the Fuglebird ate farfel seeds. What are farfel seeds? Until he got so full he had to lie down. That's this guy right here. He ate too much and he couldn't even fly probably. Fuquire danced through the yard with delight, and he set up his easel and brushes. Then he painted the birds till he got blisters on his fingers. That's a long time. That's a lot of painting. Tired and happy, the old man went inside for a quiet afternoon snack. But suddenly, ... Kaboom! Old man Fuquire spilled cottage cheese all over his suspenders. Wait a minute. Did I skip a page? No, I did not. So he spilled his cottage cheese. Kablam! The Fuglebird fell out of his nest. Kablooey! The squirrels had to restart their annual chess tournament. All the pieces got knocked over. Because I guess there must be banging and loud, I don't know, something. The noise was coming from the house across the stream. It was the sound of a small woman unloading enormous crates and moving in. Oh, okay. So this is a little river. Here's Fuquire looking back over this way, and she is moving stuff out of a van, you know, like packages and stuff. Guess she's moving into the house. Fuquire's new neighbor was little old Lady Hugh, the town baker. Oh, she's a baker. That's the lady. The only thing sweeter than the pies Hugh baked was the little old lady herself. Everyone in town loved her, but no one could stand her cat, Muffins. He was a real jerk, it says, non-friendly cat. Who didn't see things that way. She thought Muffins was a cuddly honey bunny, but after the infamous poodle incident, she decided to move to the forest so that her cat could make some new friends. Okay, so here's the poodle incident. The cat, I guess, is behind a, what do you call that, mailbox, and scared the poodle, and it ran away, and a lady was flying through the air trying to hold on to the poodle. After unpacking her crates, the little old lady who baked, tumbleberry pie. Then she and Muffins went to say hello to their new neighbors. So she bought a pie for a present. Fuquire despised conversation. He didn't like to talk. So he hid behind the drapes. The squirrels were scared of the cat, so they hid inside the drain pipes. The birds weren't sure why everyone was hiding, but they stuffed themselves down the chimney just to be safe. So everybody's hiding now because they saw Fuquire hiding. They're all hiding. Those are squirrel tails sticking out of the drain pipes. Eventually, Who got tired of waiting for Fuquire to answer the door. So she walked around front, pushed pushed the pie through the mail slot and went home. The pie fit through the mail slot? Okay. Normally, Old Man Fuquire hated pie, but this one smelled delicious. He took a deep whiff and closed his eyes, but when he opened them, the squirrels were already licking the plate clean. So he was, oh, I'm running out of time. I got 10 minutes, guys. I think I'll be all right. So he was all closing his eyes like, it smells so good. And then they already ate it. And then he says, those darn squirrels, shouted Fuquire. Full and happy, the squirrels stumbled from the house where Muffins ambushed them. That means he snuck up on them. The dastardly cat grabbed one squirrel and gave them a wet willy. I think that's like a finger in your ear or something. Then he snatched another one and gave her a noogie, like rub him on the head. Then he tied two squirrels' tails together. Very unfriendly, this cat. Luckily, little old Lady Who returned before Muffins could do more. She scooped him up and scratched him under the chin. Come on now, Snookums, she cooed. It's time for dinner. You could play with your new friends another day. But was he playing with them? No, he was being not friendly. The next morning, Muffins burst into the yard, terrifying the birds and interrupting Old Man Fuquire's painting. Then the sneaky cat pounced on an unsuspecting group of squirrels and gave them all wedgies. Not an easy thing to do, because generally squirrels do not wear underpants. A wedgie is like you pull your underpants up tight. No. The squirrels were furious. The birds flew up to the treetops and refused to come down. And Old Man Fuquire was so upset, he wrote a letter to the mayor to complain about his new neighbors. So he wrote a letter. That night, the squirrels had a meeting to figure out what to do about the cat next door. They ate cheese puffs and drank ginger ale to help them think. Finally, they had a perfect plan. So they're making a plan here. What was that? String, I think, plus a bird, plus some birdseed, plus water equals no cat. I don't know how that works, but they have a plan. And here's how it goes. When Muffins came over the next day, the birds were feeding peacefully beneath a tree. A wicked smile came over the cat's fluffy face. He wriggled his haunches and he launched himself through the air. The frightened birds swooped into the sky, yanking the strings that the squirrels had tied to their tail feathers. Oh my God. He tied strings to their, can you see that? Strings to their bodies. Where was that? Oh yeah. The strings sprang the trap, and the cat was doused with a gallon of freezing cold water. Muffins let out a furious growl. So he's about to get wet there. That's a can of water gonna fall on him. Oh my gosh, look at Muffins. When he got wet, he got very skinny and small. Old Man Fuquire ran outside when he heard the terrible noise. Great googly moogly, he exclaimed, that pathetic wretch, which means, I don't know, a wretch, what would you call that? Is no bigger than a squirrel. It's very small. Muffins just mostly fur. It was true. All this fluff and fuzz, Muffins was
Alexa.
He lowered his head. I already did it, Jimmy. He lowered his head in embarrassment and sloshed his way home as fast as he could. The squirrels' plan had worked perfectly. They gave each other high fives. The Baba birds snickered, the Yaba birds chuckled, and the Fluga bird enjoyed a hearty guffaw. Fuquire snapped his suspenders with delight. Those darn squirrels, he said fondly. Now he likes them again. And they're high-fiving. Old Man Fuquire never warmed up to his new neighbors. He was a grump after all, but little old Lady Who became quite good chums with the birds and the squirrels. Each Saturday, when the bakery closed, she brought all the unsold cakes and pies and cookies home. she set them out on her picnic table, and everyone gathered for a delicious, fun-filled feast. So she made friends with all the animals, but Fuqua is still sort of off by himself there. And everyone except for the cat next door, who refused to ever leave the house again. So he did not go to the parties. He stayed in the house. And that is the end. Yay. All right. That one went kind of long, but I still have time. I'm going to do the goodbye song with colors today again, so it doesn't take too long. And yeah, if you hear your colors, with any color you have on your clothes, wash your hands. I think would be a good idea, or do whatever you want. All right, here we go. Let's go back. You got orange on your clothes. You got orange on your clothes. You got orange on your clothes. And you can go wash those hands. If you got a pink on your clothes, if you got pink on your clothes, if you got pink on your clothes, then you can go wash your hands. If you got red on your clothes, if you got red on your clothes, if you got red on your clothes, then you can go wash your hands. I didn't play that very good. That was a horrible ending. All right, guys. Thank you so much once again for coming to Circle Time in your own house. Ooh, I have less than a minute. And I love you all very, very much. I miss you all very, very much. I'll see you at your houses.
Hi, everybody. I miss you.
Hi, Gilbert.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Gilbert. Bye.
Gilbert can hear you.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Eva. Bye, Lincoln.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.